Hi everyone, Beth Ann Stockdale and
Suzanne Van Dress.
And we are recording live from your Total Body Wellness Center. Welcome everyone. I am a personal trainer, brain health coach, and Suzanne is?
I am a drug dealer.
What?
Look, even my cup says I'm a drug dealer.
No, what is it you do?
I sell discount mail order prescriptions and CBD products. I'm one of the owners of Discount Med Direct. We have 6 locations here in Southwest Florida, and we do a variety of different things depending on the location.
And we are your hosts for Supercharge Your Health. And what Supercharge Your Health is all about is the newest gadgets and gadgets to optimize your health, eating programs that are going to optimize your health. As a brain health coach, the brain health programs that are going to optimize your brain health. And that's pretty much what we're going to be doing here. And we're going to want to hear from you too as to what you want to learn about. But the other thing that we are doing is Suzanne has volunteered to go through my optimization program as far as her brain health, for her weight, her energy levels, and just her optimizing her total health. So she started about a week ago, and it was over the holidays. So we're going to hear, and part of what Supercharger Health is going to be about is we're going to be tracking Suzanne as she goes through her journey. And you're going to be learning firsthand, and she's going to talk about, the good, the positives, the negatives, and a lot of what she's going through you probably can relate to also. And then we're going to talk about them. So take it away, Suzanne.
I have to say this week is a little weird because we're sitting in front of a mirror, so it's like we're talking to ourselves. It's throwing me off a little bit.
All right.
But okay, so this week, as you said, we're dealing with holidays, and I did a couple things pretty good, and then I did a couple things not so good. So,
and first thing we're going to do is we're not going to talk about any judgments.
Right.
Not good or bad. These are decisions and choices that you made.
So I made some bad choices, and I made some good choices. I think the biggest thing for me that I didn't do going into this, and partially because we just kind of jumped into it, and we didn't do your normal kind of pre-assessment,
correct,
until the day that we were doing it. So I didn't get all the pre-information. So I was not prepared with having gone through my pantry, stocked up with the healthy things I'm supposed to be eating, and so that made it a lot harder for me to make the healthy choices because they weren't there.
All right, so we're gonna stop right there. So normally the process is that I meet with prospective client. We go through what the goals are, and I do an assessment. And what we did with Suzanne, which was part of the assessment, was put her on the body composition scale. So I got baseline numbers as far as her weight and whatnot, and then go through the foods for her to be eating. And so we sort of jump-started part of it. So what she's talking about is she didn't get the food list and everything until a few days later. But the point is that once you know the foods that you should be eating and the foods that you shouldn't be eating, you need to get rid of those that may tempt you, because there's a premise. It's called presence equals preference.
Well, if you see convenience. If it's right there and you're hungry, you're just going to eat what's there. And if the good things aren't there, you can't eat them.
Right.
Because you're not going to, when you're starving, you're ready to eat lunch, you're not going to run out and get things if you've got things there.
Right. So part of it is the pre-planning.
Yep.
Is going out and doing the shopping and getting the foods so that they are there when you are hungry. Yes. And getting rid of the things not to eat. Right. So once you got to that point, go ahead and talk about the rest of the week.
So I did add in some vegetables. I did try to eat more vegetables as I went through the week and through the holidays. I mean, obviously there's vegetables that are involved with the holidays, and fortunately my family doesn't do green bean casserole. We just do plain green beans and plain broccoli. So that I was able to add more of those things in. I did add some berries.
Good, yay!
And the other thing that I did, I think, really well is I got to which we talked about, that I wasn't not drinking water. So it was pretty easy for me to add that extra glass of water and by glass I mean tumbler, 30-ounce tumbler of water in every day. So
explain to everyone what your weight is and how many ounces of water you should be drinking a day.
I weigh just under 180, so I need to drink 90 ounces. I was drinking probably 50 to 60 normally, because I would go through, I didn't bring the 30-ounce one today, but I have a 30-ounce tumbler that I normally carry with me. So I was drinking most days close to 2 of those. So I just needed to add like 1 more. So that was a pretty easy add-in for me. So I did do that. I did partake in some holiday treats, so that was not good.
All right, so you notice the word she just used, treat. We use cute little phrases and cute little words for food or foods that we know we shouldn't eat, but like words like treat and cheat have this connotation, and what that means is you are attaching an emotion to the food. So the treat that you had, you attach the emotion of happiness to the food. Now, was it a food that had a memory for you?
Yes, some of it, yes.
Go ahead and talk about that.
Well, and one of the things that, and it's my own fault because I made it, but but my grandmother always made, and you talked about this with one of your other clients, my grandmother always made this, what she called poor man's bread, which is similar to a banana bread kind of thing.
Okay.
Has different ingredients as far as the fruits, but I made that. And I didn't eat a ton of it. I had a couple, I made the little tiny loaves, and I had a couple of slices. Pie, obviously with the holidays, is a big thing, so I did have a couple of pieces of pie as well. Over the holidays.
Okay, so so this is the analysis that we do. So the bread that you made was something that your mother made?
My grandmother.
Your grandmother made. So even, the process of making it, you got those positive, those happy memories.
Right.
So there is nothing wrong with eating foods that evoke a memory like that and limiting the quantity of it.
Right.
Because it made you feel good. It elicited a positive emotion. Right?
Right.
So there's nothing wrong with that. The pie, on the other hand, had no memory attached to it, was nothing but sugar, and the phrase that you just used, because it was the holidays. We can't use the holidays as an excuse to eat stuff that we know is bad for us. So eating the thing from your grandmother that evoked a positive memory, great. But then that doesn't give you permission to go eat all the other things, right?
Right.
So that's where the mindfulness comes in as far as choosing what you're going to eat and what you're not going to eat.
Well, and talk about what we talked about when I was here doing the sauna and stuff the other days, is that what you were telling me about, it's not that I can't eat it, it's that I'm making a choice to be healthier.
Correct. So
because that's a different mindset than you can and can't eat it, that you're making the choice to be healthier.
Right, because you literally have to emotionally, internally buy into the idea that I am taking responsibility for my own health. Period. End of story. You were only given, everybody, we're only given this one container to take care of. It's almost as if we have to think of our bodies as being given one vehicle that has to last us our entire lifetimes. Now, if you were only given one vehicle and said, okay, this has to last you the rest of your lifetime, how would you take care of that car? Right? You would change the oil, you would make sure there was air in the tires, you would put good quality gasoline in because it had to last you your lifetime. So buying into the ideas, it's my responsibility, no one else's, to take care of this body.
Well, and I think that's the difference between this isn't even an eating plan or a diet, or it's really a lifestyle change. It's making the choices on a daily basis of good things to fuel your body.
Right, and that's when, I think you've heard the phrase before, is finding your why. Everyone has to find their whys, what their internal choice is for being healthier. And that's what's going to be the driving force to keep you on your journey. Now, in the beginning, your brain's like, okay, I'm ready to feel better. My brain's ready to feel better. But your body still remembers how good the sugar tastes. right? And your body is going to start sending messages to your brain saying, oh, you can start tomorrow. Oh, it's the holidays. Oh, it's whatever excuse it is that your body's going to give your brain to give you permission to eat whatever it is you want. Eventually, your body's going to catch up, because the more that you start thinking those wellness thoughts, I don't need the candy, I don't need the sugar, I don't need the pie, I don't need, because it's not going to make me feel better. I'm feeling better, and eventually then your body's going to catch up and it will get easier. From a physical standpoint, I say this is you're going through your detox, getting the sugar out of your body, and literally that sugar has that voice. You know, you're fine the way you are. You don't need to lose weight. You're too old to lose weight. Whatever those negative voices in your head are saying, that's just your body's old memory of how you used to be, trying to convince you differently. But as the sugar and the processed crap gets out of your body, that voice will get lower and lower and lower, and it'll become easier to make those better choices. So there you go. Any other challenges this week?
I think that was the biggest one, just, you know, because I wasn't prepared, so going into it, I was kind of a step back. You know, like, I didn't have even, you know, like, say Christmas morning, I didn't have the things there to make a healthy breakfast because I wasn't prepared. So I think that's, week one takeaway, that's the biggest thing, is make sure you're prepared when you're, like, if you were going to start January 1st, you need to be preparing before January 1st. So if you've made a New Year's resolution, because we know these shows aren't coming out until January, take that first week in January and get prepared and start the second week. So you've got that stuff cleaned out, you've done your grocery shopping, and you're ready to go with the good, healthy stuff.
Or you can just decide today, all right, I'm going to have an egg for breakfast instead of a muffin, and throw out the muffins. You know, so you can, there's different ways to implement the program. If you need a week to get ready, that's fine, right? To mentally get ready. Or if today you're just going to say, okay, for breakfast, I'm going to make a better decision for breakfast, right? And then maybe tomorrow you're going to make a better decision for breakfast and lunch. And then the next couple of days you'll be cleaning out your pantry. So you can take it like even smaller steps and ease into it, rather than thinking it's got to have a start date and a blah, blah, blah.
Well, a lot of people like that New Year's resolution start date. So if you're, if we're talking about that, if your New Year's resolution is to get healthy,
let's do it.
Pick the
and
day.
You can start now.
Well, and
whatever day this
I think the easiest way is adding water.
Right.
Get yourself a big glass of water and drink it.
There you go.
Because that'll start the detoxifying.
Right.
Just by drinking more water, your body will naturally flush out a lot of those things.
Right. Great. So that's the part of Supercharge Your Health. That's Suzanne's journey for this week. And the next segment is the Tell Me More segment, where we've asked is, we want to hear from you guys, what you wanted to learn more about. So, Suzanne?
This week, our Tell Me More was the machine.
Oh, the whole...
I'm like, I don't even know the name of it.
All right. So, behind us, there are two what we call whole body vibration machines. And Suzanne is actually using these as part of the Accelerate Your Weight Loss program. What whole body vibration does, these are, you can't see them, but there's plates that you stand on, you hold on to these. And the platform actually vibrates. So, he's making some technical
I'm trying to see if I can do it, but I don't know if I can.
Okay, so the platform actually vibrates. This particular machine has two different motors. It actually vibrates, and then it has an oscillator that goes side to side. This other machine just goes side to side, but it's got a bigger motor in it, so it travels more. What whole body vibration does is activates your lymphatic system. What that is a pumping system within your body that removes toxins. So you have two different pumping systems in your body. Your heart, which just pumps all by itself, right? You don't have to do anything, it does its own thing. But your lymphatic system doesn't activate unless you activate it. And what will do that is this up and down motion. Okay? So think of kids like jumping rope, right? On trampolines, that's up and down motion is what activates your lymphatic system. Think of it as like an old-fashioned water pump that you push, the handle that would draw the water up and take the water out. It's the same thing with your lymphatic system. It's drawing the lymph right, or your water up through your body and out through your lymphatic system, your lymph nodes. Your major lymph nodes are like in your groin, your armpits, your neck, right? And it will dump out the toxins. So that's why this is an integral part of, especially in the beginning of any weight loss or detoxification programs, because we want to get that lymphatic system working really, really efficiently to dump out those toxins. So the other thing it does is it increases your circulation. So if you know anyone that has any kind of edema, especially in the ankles and the calves and the knees, so that's the lymph or the fluid pulling. It's not moving. And when the water or that fluid doesn't move, it accumulates toxins. And that's when disease starts setting in. So,
we all know people that have that.
right. So even if somebody can't even stand on the machine, I have them sitting down with their feet. So if you know any diabetics that have that diabetic neuropathy in their feet, anyone who's experiencing any tingling in their feet, pain in their feet, those are some of the first signs of a neuropathy starting to develop, and you really want to address that as soon as you can to keep that circulation going. So it increases circulation from your head up to your brain, which is always a good thing. The other thing is when you're on the vibration machine, you're going to get little twitches in your muscles, which is activating the muscles and bringing nutrients and oxygen to those muscles, and so you're burning calories while you're standing on there too. Always a good thing. So you're multitasking with all of it. So that so the whole body vibration is the first part of the detoxification system. The other two things that Suzanne is actually doing within the program is she's basically laying down on a beamer mat, which is electromagnetic field technology. What it's doing is it's taking her veins and opening them up and increasing her body's ability to absorb nutrients and water and also get rid of waste. So there again, it is a very good detoxifier, as laying on the beamer mat. And then the third part of the program that you're doing is the sauna. So tell us because you've been in the sauna how many times now?
Twice.
All right, so tell us about your experience in the sauna.
Well, the sauna is just, we normally are chatting about the show while I'm in the sauna, but I would imagine that normally the person just gets to sit in there and relax.
Right. Instead of us talking.
Instead of like us searching for things on the internet and talking about what we're going to do next. But it's just, you just basically sit there and it heats up, and the idea is to sweat. And so you get to a point where you're sweating, and I think there's a certain temperature or something that you want people to get to if they can.
Right, so people always ask me, well, how does it feel inside the sauna? It's not like those old-fashioned type of saunas where you're throwing water on rocks and the air changes density and it makes it harder to breathe. That's not what this far infrared sauna is at all. It's actually just raising your body temperature up just ever so slightly. I think it's like half a degree or something. But it's
kind of like sitting at the beach on the hot day in
right.
the summer.
And what
Florida.
we're doing, right, is initiating a sweat response, because the sweating is probably one of the best ways of getting toxins out of your system and they accumulate in your fat cells. So that's why with the far infrared, it activates your fat cells, releasing the toxins. Now also within my sauna, I have a chromatography unit, which is different colored lights. Different colored lights have different frequencies, and I'm going to try not to get too technical, but different frequencies attached to different bodily systems. So what the color that I have while you're in the sauna is orange, which is activating the detoxification of your fat cells. So that's why it's orange. If you came in and said maybe that your muscles were sore, I may change that to like a dark blue or a violet light. Or if you were feeling sluggish, I may turn it to yellow to further activate your lymphatic system. So depending on how you feel that day or what our goals are, is what I change the lights on in the sauna.
Okay.
Alrighty, so that's, so we've gone through Suzanne's journey, what she's doing here as far as the accelerator program. And so let's talk about the segment of the program we're going to call Gidgets and Gadgets. And Suzanne is going to take it away with this week's gadget.
So I have this, and I don't know how well we're going to be able to see it. Let me hold it this way, maybe. This is a Rico's Bioenergy Band. I'll put it back on my arm. Maybe we can see it. Get rid of some of these. It's basically just a rubber wristband.
Okay, hold it still.
Okay, she's going to help me. She'll direct my arm while I talk about it. So it's basically a rubber wristband that you wear. And if we turn it over, we can see the other side. It has these little cylinders in it.
Right here.
And those contain 200 minerals.
200 minerals in this.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
So it's kind of like, the old copper bracelets or magnetic bracelets that people wore. It takes all of those and a bunch of other minerals and puts them in there, which creates negative ions.
And why is that important?
Because negative ions also help you detoxify.
You want me to take that? I'll take that little point. All right, our bodies are positively charged. Well, our bodies have, let me put it this way. We have ions that are either, they have a positive charge or a negative charge. When we are in a state of inflammation, it means we have a bunch of them running around that are positively charged. And when they're running around like that, they're causing inflammation. They're like running amok through your body. What this does is emits a negative charge
3,500 negative ions.
That's a lot of ions.
That's ions. That's a lot of ions.
That's a lot of ions. So it's basically sending into her system the negative ions, pairing up with the positive ones, and then neutralizing them.
Yeah.
So that's how it's reducing your inflammation. It's pairing up with those positive ions that are running amok, and then just neutralizing them. You get the same effect. The whole negative ion thing is like grounding. When you put your feet in the sand or in the ground, the earth is negatively charged, so you're absorbing those negative charges. But in our modern day life here, even in Florida, how often are we out walking in our bare feet?
I did go Christmas Day.
Yay!
Christmas Eve day.
Good. Good. So this is like sort of like grounding in your day-to-day life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it when we were introduced to them, they promoted them as balance bands. So for people who have issues with balance, they can help. And I think you had one of your clients that tried one and really noticed a huge difference in her balance.
Right. Well, her issue was she had injured her knee, and her knee was really inflamed. And I gave her the bracelet to wear for a weekend, and she came back Monday morning. She goes, "Okay, how much is it?" She goes, "You're not getting it back. I want to keep it." So it worked really. And she was also doing the Beamer mat. So a lot of these modalities, and that's the reason why we're doing Supercharge Your Health the way we're doing it, is so that you can understand that a lot of these modalities work together and they work synergistically. So wearing the bracelet, if you have any kind of inflammation, while you're doing a weight loss program or a detoxification program or an optimizing your brain health program, even more better.
We had one of the girls when we first got them in at our store up in Sarasota. She put one on, took it home, and she has some various issues, as most people do. But she took it home, put it on, went home for the night. Got home, her husband was complaining that his knee hurt or his back hurt or something. So she took it off and she gave it to her husband to try. Well, like 45 minutes later, she was having a full-blown panic attack, and which wasn't something that she normally had. And so her husband was trying to help her and trying to figure it out, and he was like, here, he took the bracelet off, put it back on her. Within 10 minutes, she was calmed down and felt back to normal. So, I mean, we hear stories like that. The girl that is our wholesale buyer, she has fibromyalgia. She has had a recent knee replacement, a not too distant hip replacement. She has a couple of other things so she has a lot of pain on a daily basis and issues like that. So she, when the owner of the company went to introduce him to her after I had seen him at another event, she put one on, and during just the time that he was there, she started to feel relief. So she was in then at that point. She's like, okay, give me some. So we do have these, I think, in all of our Florida stores. We have some. We are getting a little lower on supplies, so some of the smaller sizes, we're going to have to see if we can get some of those back in. They are also coming in, and you can buy these online. They're a lot more expensive if you buy them online directly from Rico. He gives us a discount and allows us to sell them for less.
So how do they get in touch with you to be able to purchase the bracelet?
Any of our stores, they can come in or they can call us. We can mail them out. They last for 2 years. And then you can, there is an exchange program if you keep them for 2 years and want another one.
Okay, a couple of questions. Can you get them wet?
Yes.
So
you can wear them in the shower, you can wear them swimming. I might keep them out of the salt water because it might discolor them, I would think. But I haven't tried that, so I don't know. But I would probably keep them out of the salt water, but okay. Showers is fine.
Okay.
I would probably, again, keep them out of chlorine just because the most of it is just a rubber.
Right, so it won't affect the effectiveness of it, but it's just going to affect the rubber.
Yeah,
from
Yeah.
the basic elements. Okay. And how many different sizes do they come in?
They come in extra small, small, medium, large, extra large, and 2X.
All right. So if you have any question about the sizing, go ahead and contact
So this
Suzanne.
is probably a large, which is actually, again, you put me in the right spot. This is too big on me. It should only have room for like one figure under it. I really need a medium.
Okay, that's good to know.
We're kind of out of medium, so I have a large. But we need to look into getting those exchanged. Now the company is also coming out with insoles for your shoes.
Good.
We don't have those in stock. They're having some manufacturing issues. We were supposed to have those by now, but they're having, I guess, some manufacturing issues. They're coming out too powerful.
They're coming in.
So they can't sell them.
Well, see, and that's what normally happens with these new modalities or these new gadgets and gadgets is they get an overwhelming response that they didn't anticipate, and so then all of a sudden, as soon as they launch, then there's a shortage.
No, well, that's not this problem. This problem is the manufacturing is making the product too strong.
Oh.
I don't know how too strong can be
I don't know
bad,
how
but
that works, yeah.
evidently it's too strong that they can't sell it. So they're not available yet. They also do dog collars. So if you have an
wow.
older pet that is having some issues with inflammation or get tough time getting around.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and offer this out. If there's any of you out there with a pet, with a dog that has it, dogs especially. Oh, I just dog sat for a friend of mine for 3 days. Arthritis. Any of those conditions that want to go ahead and try this technology on their dogs, contact us at, what's our email?
info@healthsupercharge.com.
Right, and we'll get you in touch with Suzanne, and maybe we can test ride a couple of these with some dogs and see how that goes, or even some of you out there that are vets that would be interested in test riding this technology with some of the dogs that you care for. That would be awesome. And this is the kind of stuff that we're going to be doing. It's the new technology. Let's test it out. Let's run it through the gamut. Let's beta test it, whatever. Disclaimer, no medical claims. I'm not a doctor. Suzanne's not a doctor.
You're not trained medical
We
professionals.
are not trained medical
Do not stop taking any of your medications without consulting your doctor. Do
Right.
not start an exercise program without consulting your doctor.
Yeah, all of that good stuff, right? We're here for just to make recommendations based on our expertise. But yes, don't substitute our expertise for that of your doctor. But taking into consideration, if any of what we talk about resonates with you and you want to try it, I am more than welcome to talk to your doctor and explain to your doctor, him or her, exactly what I'm proposing to do and what course of action that I'm going to take, because if I tell you and then you try to explain it to them, sometimes it gets lost in the translation. So I can pick up the phone, and I've done that on many occasions, talk directly to the doctors and say, okay, this is what we're going to do. Mostly their concerns are with any drug contraindications, so I can talk to them about that too.
Well, and things like this are not going to interfere with drugs because I can't get my hand right.
There you go.
Because it's external. It's not gonna get into your bloodstream. So it's only gonna help get the things out of your bloodstream that shouldn't be in there. So.
But if you have any questions, just contact us. So is that it for today?
We should give our contact information.
Okay, our
again.
contact information again. Again, I'm Beth Ann Stockdale, certified personal trainer, brain health coach here at your Total Body Wellness Center in Venice. The address is 800 East Venice Avenue, Suite C, Venice, Florida 34285. The phone number is 941-468-7091. You can call or text.
And I'm Suzanne with Discount Med Direct. We have 6 locations, 4 here in Southwest Florida. I am normally in the Port Charlotte location. Our phone number there is 941-421-7155. Our website is discountmeddirect.com. My email is suzanne@discountmeddirect.com, or our email for Supercharger Health is info@healthsupercharge.com. So please contact us. Let us know what you'd like us to tell you more about.
That's right. Tell me more. Yeah, if you've got any gadgets or gadgets or a supplement that you are confused on or want information on, just let us know and we'll do the research for you. Until next time, optimize your health. Supercharge your health.